Hey, what's up everybody? It's Andy Blanks from YM360, and I'm here with our first teacher prep video for our Fearless Bible study. Now, Fearless is a 4-session Bible study that's part of our Event Resource line of curriculum. And Fearless is a really cool look at really how to help your students think about those things in their lives, those things in their spiritual lives that hold them back, that keep them from being as effective as they could be on God's mission, right? Using their lives to impact the world for Christ. There's a lot of things, fears or uncertainties that hold our teenagers back. And what we want to do in this study is to help highlight those things. I think maybe a lot of our students have never thought about those before. They've never considered what it is that really keep them from, again, being as effective as they can be. We want to highlight those things. We want to help them deal with them so that they can be, powerful, live powerful spiritual lives on mission for God, okay? Now, if you've never done a teacher prep video with us before, really what we're trying to accomplish is 2 things. One, I want to help you know kind of the core theological truth or biblical truth that you're going to impart to teenagers. And then 2, what's the application of that? So in lesson 1, we're going to be dealing with this idea of temptation and sin, and how for a lot of us, teenagers and adults together, for a lot of us, temptation and sin is something that we really have a hard time with in terms of being used by God, right? We tend to think that our sin disqualifies us. We tend to fear ourselves more than anything. We fear ourselves. We fear temptation. We fear sin, and it's this almost a paralyzing thing, right? Especially when Satan uses the guilt of our sin to really make us feel like we're diminished somehow in God's eyes. Here's the cool thing. We're going to look at Jesus' temptation in the wilderness as the core passage for this lesson. And we're going to see how Jesus fought temptation, and we're going to look at how we can apply that in our own lives, how your students can sort of lean on Jesus' example as a way to really deal with temptation. And we're going to acknowledge something very important here. We're going to acknowledge that obviously Jesus, while fully God and fully man, lived a perfect life. We're going to deal with why that's so important. He's different from us in that way, right? That he was sinless, sin-free. But we're also going to carve out some space in this lesson to teach your teenagers this powerful truth that if we are saved by faith in Jesus Christ, if we've been spiritually transformed through the power of the gospel of the Holy Spirit, that we also have the power to resist sin. Paul says in Romans 6 that we're no longer slaves to sin. We're slaves to righteousness. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 10 that temptation is nothing special for us, right? Everybody is tempted. It's not just unique to us. And that God has given us the power to overcome sin. So we want to help your kids understand that their sin nature is something we're all going to deal with. We all struggle with. That perfection is unattainable, and that God's love for us, it doesn't depend on our ability to obey all his laws, right? If it did, none of us would find favor with God, and the cross would be unnecessary. We're going to help your students see that they don't have to fear temptation. They don't have to fear sin. It doesn't disqualify them. That they can resist sin, that they can strive to live holy lives through the power of the Spirit, and that they can be bold in their faith regardless of those things they struggle with. So it's a really cool lesson. I think it's a very powerful lesson, especially to start off with building this foundation of the things that hold us back, the things that we can be fearful of. And primarily for us, many of us, we fear ourselves as much as anything. So we're going to help your kids kind of get over that, power through that, work with it, and know how to move forward and live more impactful faith lives. So if you have any questions about this lesson or about this session, any questions at all, you can always email us, give us a phone call, live chat. We're here for you. Praying that your lesson goes great. I'll see you on the next teacher prep video.